So something dropped today that honestly stopped me in my tracks, and I want to talk about it because I think it's one of those small updates that actually that's actually a bigger deal than it sounds. You know how when you ask AI a question, it gives you back sentences, words, maybe a lot of words, and sometimes that's fine, but sometimes what you actually need is a picture or chart, something you can see. Well, as of today, Claude can do that. Not just pull up a pre-made image, actually build you an interactive diagram on the spot mid-conversation. And I want to break down what that actually means for you because I think it really matters. So here's the news. Anthropic, the company behind Claude, just rolled out a new feature where Claude can now generate interactive charts, diagrams, and visualizations directly inside your chart. No plugins, no extra tools, nothing to set up. You just ask and it builds one. The example they gave in their announcement is a good one. Ask Claude to explain how compound interests work. You know, that thing your bank talks about, the most people half understand, and instead of writing you 3 paragraphs, it builds you an interactive calculator. You can drag sliders, change the interest rate, change the time period, and watch the numbers move in real time. That is genuinely useful in a way that text just isn't. And here's the thing that makes it different from just Googling a compound interest calculator. When you find one online, you get ads, auto-playing videos, cookie banners, and a tool that doesn't know the context of your question. Claude builds it for you inside your conversation, already knowing what you were asking about. That's a different experience. The future is rolling out now to all cloud users, free and paid, which is worth noting because when Google launched something similar for Gemini, it was locked behind a $200 a month subscription. Anthropic is making this available to everyone. Now, I want to zoom out for a second because this isn't just about charts. This is about something larger that's happening with AI right now. For a while, the knock on Claude was that it was brilliant at text, writing, reasoning, coding, but compared to ChatGPT and Gemini, it was behind on the visual stuff, images, audio, those kinds of things. And Anthropic was focusing elsewhere. What's interesting about today's update is that it's not really trying to compete with image generators. It's not here's a pretty picture. It's something more practical, interactive, functional visuals that actually help you understand something. And I think that's a smarter lane to be in for everyday use. Think about the things you genuinely struggle to picture in your head. How a loan compounds over time, how a flight pattern works at a small airport, how two options compare on a graph. These are things where a quick interactive diagram isn't just nice to have, it's genuinely the clearest way to understand the thing. And now you can just ask for one. Now, I want to be honest, because this podcast is always about giving you the real picture, not just the hype. This feature is still in beta, which means it's not perfect yet. The reporter who covered this story today tried asking Claude to draw an airport flight pattern diagram, something there are hundreds of examples of online, and Claude mostly got it right, but misplaced one of the labels. Not a disaster, but a reminder that AI still makes mistakes, especially on things that require precise technical accuracy. There's also a speed issue. Creating one of these visuals can take around 30 seconds, which doesn't sound like much, but when you're used to getting answers in seconds, half a minute feels long. For some questions, you might genuinely just Google it faster. So, powerful new feature, genuinely useful, but still early. Use it, play with it, but check anything that matters. Here's my practical takeaway from today. If you're already using Claude, go try this literally today. Ask it to Explain something you always found confusing using a diagram. Compound interest, how a mortgage works, how the seasons change, how a piece of music is structured. Whatever it is, just say, can you show me this visually and see what comes back? And if you're not using Claude yet, this is actually a pretty good moment to start. The free version now includes this feature. So the link to Claude, just Google it. Claude.ai. Just Google it. That's it. AI being able to think in pictures, not just words, that's a step towards tools that feel less like search engines and more like actual understanding. And that's the direction all of this is going. So, brand new news. That was our episode today, broken down simply. And thank you for listening to ABG Talks. If you found this episode useful, subscribe so you can catch the next one. And I try to drop a new episode whenever I can. I still don't have a routine yet. And if there's an AI story you want me to break down, drop it in the comments. I will be reading all of them. I don't have any comments yet. So I'll see you next time.